Lanicum po of Lanicum Views. Today, we will feature a phone that is very functional and very beautiful to look at, with an extra that is quite helpful nowadays. This is the Umidigi A9 Pro. Umidigi is offering phones here in the Philippines for a low price, giving us very functional and capable phones. Kung mapapansin ninyo, ang low-end and budget phones are now getting more extra features that we can enjoy. A9 Pro offers great cameras and quite a unique feature, a digital thermometer. But aside from the function, it looks really well externally. As we kick off, here are some notable specs ng Umidigi A9 Pro. We have a MediaTek P60 octa-core processor, 4GB or 6GB of RAM, 64 or 128GB of storage, a 48MP main camera with 16MP ultra-wide and 5MP macro and depth. Sa front naman may 24MP selfie camera tayo. Mayroon itong customizable button, contactless thermometer, a 6.3-inch 1080p display. Ang battery ay 4,150mAh at the price of 9,000 to 11,290 SRP. Pero usually, nakukuha natin ito here in the Philippines at a discounted price of 6,290 up to 8,000 pesos. Ito ang white box ng Umidigi A9 Pro. It is a simple sliding box. Inside the small box contains the white envelope na mayroong SIM ejector tool and user guide. On the next layer, we have the A9 Pro phone. Already installed ang clear case. Sa loob ng compartment, we have the charging brick at ang USB-A to USB-C cable. As you can see, mayroon na tayong protector film pre-installed sa phone. The case included is quite thin. Edges are protected but you can see that the camera is still protruding despite na nakakabit na ang ating case. That is it, and the phone is ready to use. Ito ang Umidigi A9 Pro. Ang mayroon tayo ay ang forest green color. To describe it, it's more like aqua in color. In fact, pag tinitignan mo siya ng maigi, parang malalim ang effect niya, like looking into a deep ocean. The back is very reflective. You can see rays of light when you change the angles. This is also available in onyx black color. We have a single color throughout the body. The camera bump is at the top corner. The back is made of glass, giving it a very smooth texture. On the side is a metal frame in silver color, giving it a good contrast sa kanyang back. No plastic feels here, giving it a premium feel and look. Sa size naman, we have 158.7mm tall, 74.9mm wide, na may nipis na 8.6mm, weighing at 205 grams. Tignan naman natin ang sides ng phone. Sa bottom part, the headphone port, a microphone, a USB-C for charging and data transfer that is also OTG capable, and a loudspeaker. We do not have anything on the top. Sa left side naman, we have a SIM tray and a keyhole nito. It has dual SIM tray and another slot dedicated for microSD. Here also is the customizable key. On the right side, the power button and the volume keys. At the back, nandito ang 4 cameras, LED flash, infrared thermometer, at ang cluster na ito ay enclosed sa isang rounded rectangular bump. The fingerprint scanner at the center, at ang Umidigi logo. Sa front naman, ang glass screen. Front-facing camera at the top center giving it a U-shaped notch. We have an ambient light and proximity sensor, and at the top, the ear speaker. A9 Pro has a 6.3-inch IPS display measured diagonally at 1080p resolution. With this, you can watch media content up to 1080p. We have a cutout on the display at the center. On my opinion, this display is very great for a budget phone. Konti lang ang 1080p at this price point, and I can say that this one is one of the best 1080p screens around. Very bright and vivid ang display na makikita natin dito. Umidigi A9 Pro ay may single loudspeaker. This is average in loudness, just enough for your usual loudspeaker needs and notifications. Mayroon din siyang 3.5mm headphone port para magamit ang ating mga favorite headsets. As a communication device, it can connect to 2G, 3G, and up to 4G cellular networks. For Wi-Fi, it has dual band capable of 2.4 and 5 GHz Wi-Fi. It has Bluetooth 4.2, can be a Wi-Fi hotspot. It also has a set of good location tools para sa navigation apps. For the phone sensors, ito ay may proximity sensor, ambient light sensor, accelerometer to detect movements, gyroscope to detect tilting and rotation, electronic compass, and the fingerprint sensor for security. Fingerprint detection is fairly fast. Yun nga lang, kailangan somehow lapat ang iyong fingers for it to be detected properly. And the one that makes this special, an infrared temperature sensor. This phone has an app that reads body temperature and object temperature. By default, this app can be launched gamit ang button on the left. Para magamit ito, point your phone 1 to 3 cm away from your body, then press the volume key para mag-start ang temperature reading. This can also be used to measure temperature of objects. Tip lang, it is best to use na hindi mainit ang phone ninyo kapag ginagamit ang temperature reader. May effect kasi ito sa temperature reading kapag medyo warm ang ating phone. Now, let us go to the software. Ito ay running Android 10 using a stock Android, but mayroong very slight customization. This is for the face unlock, customizable smart key, and DuraSpeed integration in the settings. This is still different from the Android 1 phones na na-experience natin, but you have the Android basics here. No much bloatware, the extra apps lang ay ang thermometer at ang Zello app. From the home screen, you can navigate using the buttons or gestures. On our home screen, swipe down from the top for notifications and switch toggle menu. Swipe left and right for the applications. We do not have an app drawer here. All apps are nasa home pages. It can do split screen to use 2 apps ng sabay. In the settings menu, you can customize the behavior when you press the key found on the left side of the phone. You can select an action or launch an app when pressed. For battery and charging, ito ay may 4,150 mAh battery. It gives decent and sufficient battery for an active whole day. For communication functions, social media, video, online streaming, and games, kayang-kaya naman ito. It uses a 10-watt charger and it can fully charge the phone in 2 hours. This phone is using a MediaTek Helio P60, an octa-core processor, with graphics processor of Mali G72. The one that I am using is a 6GB RAM variant. Para sa daily task, this is very ideal. It can do multitasking easily on medium to light apps. When it comes to gaming naman, kaya naman niya ang graphic-intensive games. It can play Genshin Impact on its default setting na low. It is playable, may frame skips giving it a fair frame rate. You can still set it to the lowest for a smoother experience. Sa Call of Duty naman, kayang-kaya din niyang laruin ito sa high settings. We are having smooth and responsive gameplay. On Asphalt 9, it can do high settings, with a few frame drops at the start of the game, but habang tumatagal, it's getting better. Sa Mobile Legends, it can do high graphics with high frame rate mode. Playing Mobile Legends is smooth here.
We can do it. We can do it. First blood.
And sa League of Legends, kaya niya ang 60 frames per second. Low texture, medium effects, high resolution. We are having a fluid experience, stable din naman ang graphics quality niya. Good thing on somehow older chipsets, it's very much optimized on most apps. After quite a while of gaming, medyo naging warm ang phone pero mabilis din naman itong nag-cool down. Punta naman tayo sa photography. This is also claimed by Umidigi as a photography phone boasting a 48 megapixel camera from Sony. This is accompanied with a 16 megapixel ultra-wide lens, 5 megapixel depth camera, and 5 megapixel macro camera, aided with LED flash. Sa front naman, ang Sony 24 megapixel camera. Ang camera software ay may several camera tools. The interface is very simple. On the top, you can toggle flash, AI mode, HDR, and enter settings. From here, you can find some photography tools and enable the 48 megapixel. You can toggle ultra-wide para sa mas malawak na capture, best for scenes. And also, may toggle for macro mode para naman sa close subjects. We have a beauty mode, video mode up to 1080p, portrait mode to utilize the subject focusing and background blurring. On the extras, we have the night mode, panorama, and lastly, ang pro mode para sa manual camera settings. Here are some samples ng Umidigi A9 Pro. It produces great photos. Na-amaze ako sa main camera niya. For its price, this is a good phone for photos. On outdoor shots, the colors are natural and buhay na buhay even in indoors at nagpa-pop ang mga colors nito. This is a good social media phone to share photos with. Sa video naman, we do not have a stabilization feature here. Be steady or use a tripod for best results. The selfie photos look great. I am impressed sa front camera as it produces great colors and contrast too. To wrap up this video, what are the main advantages of Umidigi A9 Pro? First is the display. This is a vivid 1080p display not usually found on budget phones. Maganda ang display nito compared sa iba. Second, great cameras. This phone produces great photos from the main camera and the selfie camera. Next, ang premium design feel if you're a fan of metal and glass combination. And lastly, the unique feature, the infrared thermal scanner. This is helpful lalo na ngayon na kailangan mag-monitor ng ating mga temperature. Ngayon, para kanino ang phone na ito? Ito ay para sa mga users na gusto ng great camera on a low budget. Best for social media and video watching as this has a great display. Kung ikaw din ay nangangailangan ng thermal scanner, this can be handy to have always. Do you find the thermometer useful? Let us know. Comment kayo. Overall, this is a great looking phone. The look is stunning and doesn't look cheap at all. A capable phone for your everyday use, great RAM and storage options, together with a great processor that can handle tasks well na nakaka-produce ng photos more than you can expect from a phone at this price. If you experienced the Umidigi Bison before, the experience is almost the same. It is like the Umidigi Bison removing its hiking clothes, wear a formal dress to attend a ball, at nagbitbit ng thermometer. What I really hope is to have Umidigi visibility on local stores dito sa Philippines. Also strengthen their after-sale support for the local users to have confidence with this brand. That is it. This is the Umidigi A9 Pro. I hope nakatulong ito para ma-experience ninyo ang phone sa panonood lamang. Subscribe to Lanicom Views, follow nyo sa FB, Twitter, and Instagram ang Lanicom Views. Comment kayo at pag-usapan natin ang mga views ninyo and learn from each other. This is Lanicom of Lanicom Views. Hanggang sa muli!